Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Log Grooves. Today we got a little special episode. We took a field trip yesterday, and so we filmed some of it. We're going to show it to you. I don't have my regular wares that I normally show. You know, a lot of the weird spacey stuff. It's more mainstream because of the stuff that we picked up. So what I'm going to show you is what we got, and we got a tip on somebody who was selling some records for a decent price, and it's a lot of a lot of bargain bin type stuff, like older stuff that was had been stored in a garage for years or maybe even decades. It was, some of it was okay, some of it was pretty rough, but all I can say is get a spin clean. If you don't have a spin clean, get one, because it'll turn really nasty records into very listenable records. So we did really good. But here's the little trip, and then I'll show you the records. Hey, how's it going? We're it's a Thursday afternoon on December 29th, and we are taking a little trip to go find some records. We got a tip, one of my mom's friends, apparently he's got a large stash of records that he's selling, and he's going to hook us up. So we're on our way to his home to look at them. And it's about a good 45 minutes away from our house, so we're on a small road trip to go see him, and hopefully he's got some good stuff. So we're going to record this, and if you're watching this right now, that means that we got some good stuff, and we'll be showing it soon. So we'll see you in a few minutes when we get there. Okay, so we're here at Raul's house, and go ahead and get a shot. We got crates of albums, and we're going to start digging through them and see what we come up with. So I think this is going to be, I already see some stuff. Like this one right here. I don't have this Weather Report album, so I mean this is going into the pile. So I mean we're already hitting it. So we'll continue to dig here, and then when we're done, we'll show you what we got. So see you in a bit. Okay, so we just got back from Raul's house, and we did score. We got some good stuff. We got some dollar bin items, but regardless, we got some good stuff, and we got it for a decent price. And Raul was really cool, man. I mean, he had a lot of good records. He had 2 rooms full of stuff. He had, the stuff he was going to sell, and then he had the sweet spot, his collection. And he let us look at his collection, and we got a couple things out of that. I felt a little bad. I didn't want to, pillage that too much, because, that's his stuff. It'd be like, someone going in and taking my collection. But we got some Rosh and some Linny wine, some good stuff out of that. But once we get back, we'll show you what we got. But for the price, we did very well, and I think we made a friend out of it. And hopefully he'll come up and check out our collection someday. So we're on our way home. We're going to clean them up, and we'll show you what we got. Okay, so as you can see, we had a good time. It was a fun afternoon. We're off for Christmas break, and the person we met, Raul, was very nice and very hospitable, and we know that he's watching. So thank you so much for letting us into your home and letting us show your records and buying your records. So he
he wasn't on camera. He didn't want to be, but you have a presence, Raul, and you're very good with vinyl and music talk. So if you ever change your mind, you're welcome to come up on the show and come up here to the record room and talk vinyl sometime. So, you're always welcome. So thank you once again for letting us into your home. So I'm going to go through these really quick because we got a decent amount, a couple of dozen albums, maybe 3 dozen albums. And we'll just show them to you real quick. And well, like I said, this isn't my normal space rock, but this will go into another collection I have that's just fun rock and roll. Just stuff that I listened to, lots of stuff I listened to as a child. Yeah, or teenage years. For example, Hair of the Dog. I mean, that's what we're listening to right now, if you could hear. I got it turned down. Normally I have it turned up a little bit because we're listening to something... Normally we're listening to something spacey, but the rock and roll, the heavy metal will kind of bleed through. So I found a Weather Report album that I didn't have, and this one has got this is the Jaco years, Jaco Pastorius. I'm not sure if this is his first album with him or not, but I prefer the earlier Weather Report years, but any Weather Report is good. I like it. And some ZZ Top, Tejas. This, let's see here, I'm kind of opening this up here. It's got a nice big fold. So, this was in pretty good condition. Jethro Tull, Living in the Past. This was pretty good. It was decent condition. There was only one album with it, but, for the price, can't beat it. I'll probably find it at the other albums he's kind of coming through someplace else some other time, so. And this one right here, during the 80s, he was all over the place. Billy Idol, Rebel Yell. And I had this on cassette. Now, not CD, but cassette. When I was going through my metal years, he wasn't exactly metal. He was kind of punkish, rock and roll, a little bit alternative. He kind of rode all the rails, if you should say. And it's just hard to turn off Billy Idol when he comes on the radio. So, I had several of his albums, actually. Give Back Your Bullets, Leonard Skinner, 1976. Chicago Sex. Haven't heard this one. I had some good friends that were Chicago fans. I got the first 2 or 3 Chicago albums. They're more fusion based. I know this is probably more vocal, but there it was. And when I was a kid, like 7 years old, 8 years old, I could not get enough of this one. This was, it was great. It was gritty. It was street. It's kind of what I imagine New York to be like, the gritty. And then plus the album cover, there he is standing in some alleyway or something, just some raw record. And I haven't heard it since I was a kid, so I don't know if my opinions will change, but if I was going to get any Billy Joel album, it was going to be this one. Genesis, and then there were 3. So it was Genesis, it was cheap, I picked it up. Another one. Let's see here. This is Wind and Wuthering. I've never heard of this one. More to the early Genesis, but there you go. Madman Across the Water. This, I always liked, some of the songs on this. Tiny Dancer and, Madman Across the Water. Live On. Let's see. One of the songs on here that I thought was on here is not here, but anyway, we'll spin that. And let's continue. Steely Dan. This is my first Steely Dan album. I've been getting into fusion lately, and some of the guys on the Facebook group that I'm on, they dig Steely, so we'll give them a shot. Huh? George Duke, love George. Supertramp. I probably had that on CD or something, like in the 90s. I did not know this one existed. Larry Coryell. And he plays with John Scofield and Joe Beck. So, this is 1979, and I haven't listened to this yet. So, you know, I tried to pick up everything Larry Coryell. I really dig the dude. Parliament. This was not in the best shape. I really had to do some spin cleaning on this one. And I haven't listened to it yet, so we'll see how it turned out. But I do have this on CD. I have a lot of Parliament and Funkadelic. Some more George. I think I heard some of this. I'm not sure that I dug it a whole lot, but we'll give it a chance. Some Jefferson Starship. Captain Beyond. Hard to go wrong with Captain Beyond. Pretty spacey, and the album is really in a good shape. I didn't have to clean it. Immaculate condition. So, Killer. I had this on cassette when I was like 13 years old. Listened to it every day. So good. Under My Wheels. Be My Lover, Halo of Flies, Desperado, Dead Babies. Come on. This was not in the best of shape, but we made it playable, and I did listen to it last night. Heart. This is like the basically I just filled in all my classic rock section yesterday. You know, it's stuff that I didn't have. I've been spending $50 on German imports for the last, I don't know how many years, and yesterday I just hit a gold buy. I was like, why not? Barracuda, Montrose, Sammy Hagar. And I was really surprised to find this one, Shakti with John McLaughlin. I have their other one and I really enjoy it. And this will go in my personal collection. There's a few of these that'll go in, you know, they'll stay in the fun collection, but will actually go into my more space rock, jazz-oriented collection. So I was real happy to find this one. And I was happy to find this one. And this will go into my personal collection as well. Rush, All the World's a Stage. And it's got the complete 2112, Bastille Day, Anthem, Fly By Night, Something for Living. It's got good stuff on here. By Tour, The Snow Dog, Lakeside Park. And another one that I've been looking for that was on my Discogs list. That I actually did score some good stuff here. And this was Lenny White, Venusian Summer. And now Raul had two rooms. He had one room where most of these came from, and then he had the honey hole, right? Where all of his good stuff was, and he let us look through there. And I felt kind of those were his, but he was selling, and I felt a little bad because there was like thousands that I would have just walked away with, and but. He threw this in. He threw this, The Rush, and one of the George Dukes in. So thanks again, Raul. Appreciate that. Because he's seen us high in this. I was like, man, gotta have this one. And it's a promotional VJ copy. I have this one, but it's in horrible shape. This is in brilliant shape. I mean, it really looks good. And the one I have is not the gatefold. Or maybe it is, and I don't remember. Because now that I'm looking at it, I think I remember seeing all that. But this is in really good shape, so we'll replace the copy that I have. Another Alice Cooper, When School's Out. First thing I did was look for the panties, because it came with panties, and didn't have it, so they'd been taken out long ago. I put a sleeve. It didn't come with a sleeve, but I cleaned it up real good. Haven't played it yet. I mean, there's just so much to play, and we've only had them for a little over 24 hours. So, now this one was the roughest of the bunch, and I thought I might have to throw it out, but I just cleaned and cleaned and cleaned. Haven't listened to it yet, but I think it's going to be playable. You know, one of the things, and people have said this before about old vinyl made in the 70s, is it's resilient. I mean, it'll play through scratches and stuff. As the vinyl today, I got a brand new copy of, what was it, Piper at the Gates of Dawn the other day. The first time I played it, it's got a skip in it. You know, not just a little skip, but a skip that just will play forever, you know, around and around and around. Never been played before. And you look at it, and you don't even see any damage on it. So there is a difference in the quality of wax that they're using. So even with this, there's probably 1,000 scratches on this thing. It'll probably still play good and without a skip. As we're virgin wax that just came out, you know, I'm getting skips. So yes, this is one of the few Yes albums in vinyl that I don't have. That'll go into the collection. We're kind of getting, actually we just got a couple more left. When I was in high school, this was popular, and I wanted to hear the rest of the album. I know that it wasn't that good. It did not get good reviews, but the song The Confessor is incredibly badass. So I did listen to The Confessor, and I listened to a couple more songs on here. They weren't that bad. You have critics, but I'll listen to it and give it a fair shake. And this one, I think, you know, we were talking earlier, and I think this is probably the best gatefold of all times. And it's ZZ Top Tres Hombre. And we were listening to it, and it sounds good. And look at, I mean, doesn't that make you just want to go out right now and eat Mexican food? I mean, look at that. And that wasn't fake. I mean, I read about this, so not today, but like a long time ago, because I was curious about it. And that's a real shot. And that's a real Mexican food place that was down in Houston, and it's closed now, because I looked it up, and I was like, I'm going to go eat there. And it had closed. Now, I did pick some stuff up for my family, so I'm going to show these. These are stuff that I, you know, probably wouldn't listen to, but we did get them, and these are for my son and wife. And they're fun albums. And we've been jamming to this one, been at work. That actually brings back a lot of preteen memories. Village People, huh? I mean, I just want to have some fun with that. We got this one for my wife, Grease. I guess any hot-blooded female will want that in their collection. I remember watching that movie when I was like 8 every day. It was on cable television like 3 times a day, and we watched it. It's like ingrained into my skull. Not that it's a bad thing, but Moonraker. My son is a James Bond freak, so anything to do with Bond. And, you know, this was another one that was on every day, Moonraker. I think it was like 79 or 80, and it was on cable television 3 or 4 times a day, and I watched it probably more than any other Bond movie. And it could maybe be one of my favorites, just because when you're a kid, you know, it was really goofy. And this is one that we just found. We love Halloween, so it's a sound effects record. Night in the Graveyard. So I'm sure it's just got lots of ghouls and witches and chains and black cats doing their thing. So that's it. it was just kind of a fun episode. We just got out, because we have to get out every so often. It gets stuffy up in the record room. Hope you liked it, and we will catch you next time. Hopefully it won't be so long, because I had another one queued up and ready to go that I was going to do, so maybe we'll release that in a couple of days. But the New Year's right around the corner, so Happy New Year's if we don't see you, and happy listening.